To the Fantasy Draft Weekly Rundown. Joining me as always is co-host and NFL Ironman London Fletcher. London, happy early Thanksgiving. Are you with me? Let me start off with this because this is kind of my burning topic every year it comes around. Are you with me in thinking that cranberry sauce is overrated?
I'm not a big cranberry sauce eater. Although I have tried it more recently, the last few Thanksgivings, and with some dressing, or you call it stuffing. I don't know, dressing, stuffing, whatever you want to call it. It's actually pretty good. So I mean, it's not a must-have for me, but I can appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm even on the not really appreciate it. I could live without it, but everyone else seems to be on it, so I suffer through it. But in honor of Thanksgiving, the NFL obviously every year has an extended slate of football games. This year we got Eagles Lions. The Lions always seem to play Panthers Cowboys and Bears Packers. Can you give us a quick breakdown of each matchup and who do you like in these games?
Well, you got the Chicago Bears going into Green Bay. I think they're going to honor Brett Favre, so that doesn't bode well for the Chicago Bears. Coming off a loss, going into Green Bay, already a tough place to play. Aaron Rodgers seems to gotten back on track, and most importantly for the Green Bay Packers, Eddie Lacy got on track, having his first 100-yard rushing game of the season, and I like him against the Chicago Bears. They gave up 170 yards rushing a week ago to the Denver Broncos, and the Broncos struggle running the football. So, Eddie Lacy is a guy that I would like, in that matchup. Thinking about the Philadelphia-Detroit game, for me, I like Stafford and Johnson in this game, man. When you look at what Jameis Winston was able to do against them, I wish that the Lions had a better running game or somebody you could depend on, because you think Doug Martin rushed for over 200 yards, some ridiculous number against the Philadelphia Eagles. So I like Johnson. I like Matthew Stafford having a big game against the Eagles. And then the other game is who we have in the other game?
Panthers Cowboys.
Oh, Panthers Cowboys, man. How can I forget that one? Cowboys always play Thursday night football. I know Tony Romo got back, for the Cowboys, and they went down to Miami and won a game. But to go against the Carolina Panthers and what they've been doing this year, for me, Cam Newton, I mean, I know Brady's having a phenomenal year, but Cam Newton, he may have just taken over the lead for the MVP race when you think about what he's been able to do. So, I'm big on Cam in this game. I also like Jonathan Stewart in this game, and Greg Olsen on the Panthers side. For the Cowboys side, the Panthers defense is so tough. Maybe you want to think, I guess maybe McFadden possibly having a little bit of success. I'm not sure how much success Des Bryant will have, though.
Yeah, you hit on some of the guys that I liked. I wrote about Aaron Rodgers. I think the Bears defense is kind of mediocre, and we know he had that streak at home. You hit on Calvin Johnson, who my Thanksgiving picks article will be out today. I said pair your Mega Turkey with Megatron because I think he's the play of the day. And I like McFadden simply because he's cheap and he's getting a ton of carries. I mean, I think he saw 29 last week. So
hey, speaking of Thanksgiving, it looked like you already had your Thanksgiving meal. Like you did a pregame free turkey, free stuffing, mac and cheese. Ricky, I know you've ate already, man. Tell me this: how many plates do you get on normally do on Thanksgiving?
oh, how many plates? I mean, I've been practicing for years with Old Country Buffet, so I mean, Thanksgiving is nothing for me. Thanksgiving is nothing for me. I mean, I can do three plates in my sleep. When we start getting to four, that's when you start feeling it. But I've actually participated in an eating contest before. I didn't successfully complete it, but I tried it because I think I can. I have that kind of appetite.
Let me ask you this: are you a pumpkin pie guy or a sweet potato pie guy?
Pumpkin pie. I'm all about pumpkin. I mean, I'm the kind of guy that when it comes pumpkin season for Starbucks, I'm there, twice a day. That's a big sell for me.
Have you ever had a sweet potato pie?
I have once. I don't remember it honestly.
Wow.
I need
Oh
to get
man,
back on that. Yeah,
man.
because I do like sweet potato.
All right. All right. Well, I think Gladys Knight has a sweet potato pie that's been selling out. So Maybe you have to go try the Gladys Knight sweet potato pie out.
I actually saw that, as funny as it is.
Yeah.
All right. From Thanksgiving to the NFL picks, that's quite a segment right there. But let's get to quarterbacks. I'm going to start, and I'm kind of going to go with the NFL cheat code, if you will. I'm going to go with a quarterback against the New Orleans Saints because they've been just absolutely horrible. Brian Hoyer is priced as the minimum. And don't get me wrong, I don't think Brian Hoyer is a great NFL quarterback by any means. But let's look at the last 3 games against the Saints. Kirk Cousins, 324 and 4 touchdowns. Mariota, 371 and 4 touchdowns. And Eli, 350 and 6 touchdowns. He's actually played better at home this season where he's completed 65% of his passes. So really, I just need to look at those 3 games, and I need to see a competent NFL quarterback facing them, and I'm going to start him. Who do you like?
I like Blake Bortles, man. He's not going to cost you a ton. Going for about 11,000 on FantasyDraft.com. He gets to face a Chargers team that's really struggling right now. And the reason that I like Bortles is because of his 2 young wide receivers, and not only with the 2 Allen brothers, Allen Hurns and Allen Robinson, but also you think about Julius Thomas, starting to get going as well. So that's really 3 weapons that he has in the passing game, and it's going to be tough for the Chargers to defend all 3 of those guys. So look for Jacksonville and Blake Bortles to have some success against the Chargers.
Yeah, it's kind of getting to the point where I look for a wide receiver to roster and I say, which Jaguars guy should I start with? Because they have been incredibly consistent. And I think Allen Robinson's actually turning into one of the best in the league. But let's go to running backs now. I'm going to stick with that same game. I think, pretty much any Saints game at this point is a borderline shootout. They don't play any defense, and they got Drew Brees. But I'm going to go with the running back, Mark Ingram, who has 1 game below 12.8 fantasy points this year. And Houston hasn't exactly been great against the run. They've allowed 8 touchdowns, which is tied for 20th. Or if you want to flip that around, that's 11th worst. And they rank the exact same spot in yards per game, 113.2. So they're below average against both. And Ingram has gone 3 weeks without a touchdown. For me, I think that's too long. I mean, he's pretty heavily involved. And I think that this is one of those games where he's going to get back. They're going to get back to basics, really, and not just have Breeze throw a million times. I think Ingram will be involved. I think he sees some goal line carries, and I think he scores, which means he should have a solid day, especially at his mid-tier price. Who do you like at the running back position?
I like Chris Ivory going against the Miami Dolphins. I know Ivory hasn't had a lot of success the last few ball games. I think 4 out of the last 5 ball games, he's barely gotten over. I think he had 17 yards one game, 26 against the Jaguars, and 36 last week against the Houston Texans. He did come in close to getting 100 against the Buffalo Bills with 99. But going against the Miami Dolphins, the 31st ranked run defense, this is just what the doctor ordered for Chris Ivory and the New York Jets, trying to stop their skid. They need to get back to their identity, and Chris Ivory is a back that I like. And then Buck Allen for the Baltimore Ravens is the second running back I like, going against the Cleveland Browns. And man, the Browns are still the Browns. 32nd ranked run defense. Justin Forsett is out now. Buck Allen will be the lead back in Baltimore, so he's a guy that I think he'll catch the ball as well. So you talk about a PPR league, which Fantasy Draft is. Those are 2 backs that I like.
There you go. Buck Allen, I think, guys stepping into the starting role always make a lot of sense because they're going to be underpriced. So Buck Allen, get him in your lineup. That's all for the first half of the weekly rundown. Stay tuned as we will get to the receivers, tight ends, and of course the questions, which give us so much joy each week.